to politics, to run for an elective position as a president, will make him panic or even become nervous.
Okay.
He's very solid in his political architecture. You know, we used to drink nyao milk together, so I know him fairly well. So he's very solid. But you may not say the same about UDA, is a political party, because Dr. Matiang'i has shaken the ground. Now, contrary to what he has indicated, when you're running for political seats, you do not need to start from the chairman of a cattle dip, then you become an MCA, then you go to the National Assembly, then you go for president. We've got stories from elsewhere. If you go to the United States of America, Mr. Donald Trump came from there with a parachute, and he ran an unconventional campaign, and is the head of state. And he said to be doing very well. Never mind that he's come up with these tariff debates, and people voted for him on account that he's going to change the economy. All of a sudden, they see the cost of life going high. Everything is complicated, but they're still happy with him. And in my view, I think it's very, very early in the day for Zaire and his political party to now dismiss Dr. Matiang'i by saying that it's a mobilized crowd. Let's go with these premises and assume that it's a mobilized crowd. That people are paid sitting allowance, working allowances, all these are allowances. If indeed it was a mobilized crowd, then Dr. Matiang'i has demonstrated that while he may not be a politician, that he can also mobilize a crowd, which politicians are known to do. During the 2007 elections, I was very active in the political process because I served as the PNU press secretary. So I know the theory of campaigns as a scholar, and I also know the practicals of a campaign as a practitioner. Believe you me, there is no crowd which comes on its own motion, organic. They must have had announcements somewhere. They must have been told by the peers, let's go and have a rally. I mean, somebody will not stop going to tend his, tea farm or coffee farm or milk their cows and show up for a political rally without a cause. So there is a percentage which is organic. There's another one which is inorganic. Now, you did ask Zaire a question which he dodged. That if these people who are mobilized, they came from parts of Lonyanza to come and receive Dr. Matiang'i, then Raila Odinga should be worried that his core base that has got an irrational and emotional attachment to him, in fact, were mobilized to go and receive Dr. Matiang'i. But
also, let us be historically factual. Do you suppose that, say, the Kisii region has largely been, a stronghold of the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, critically looking at where we come from politically up to this level?
I would say that the Kisii nation is probably the most liberal political population you have in Kenya today. There's a member from every political party. And you are not necessarily elected on your political party. You could be from ODM, you could be from UDA, but the people look at the personality. And it's for that reason that Zaire is seated pretty. He's not worried whether or not he's going to be re-elected. He can decide to run on any political party, and the probability of him winning is extremely high. However, again, one would be extremely naive to imagine that challenging President William Ruto is going to be a walk in the park. Because President William Ruto has demonstrated that he's got a grassroots presence, a very solid presence. He has demonstrated that he's got an elephant's memory. I mean, you can criticize him about talking about the roads, Keancha, Musocho, Marani, across the nation he knows. And then he's also a national leader. So as these candidates, prepare themselves for 2027, they must go down to the basics. And everybody needs to come up with a strategic narrative. That if you're talking about Dr. Frederick Matiang'i, what is strategic narrative? He has already carved it, saying, I know Kenya's problems, I'm going to offer solutions. How does that sit with the normal Kenyan? We'll get to know during the 2027 scoreboard. Go to Rigathi Gachagua. His strategic narrative is that President Ruto and I were joined at the hip, lakini tumekosana hapa hivi, so I want to teach him a lesson. Now, I doubt whether there is any rational Kenyan who wants to invest in shares with Rigathi Gachagua because he has got personal issues to settle with President Ruto. People are unlikely to do that. And then go to Kalonzo Musyoka, go to Eugene. In fact, one of the key, all the guys who are running, the ones who've been in the public service, they need to tell us where do they serve. So that Dr. Matiang'i says, when I was in the Ministry of ICT, these were my 3 signature events, or programs or proposals. When I was in education, 3 signature things I did. When I was in ICT, 3.
Mokua, I want to come back to you.